best not miss. Hit that like button, people. Give us a thumbs up. My people, it's been a minute. Yes, it has. But that does not prevent us from bringing that heat, right? This show comes with a lot of work, a ton of work. Not gonna lie. Oh, at least we caught it. At least we caught it. Let's go. Let's. That's what I'm talking about. We have action. We have action. Shout out to all of my people who went out and didn't cause any trouble over the weekends. All of my people who got it in. Now, those of you who even worked overtime, did you guys know that there used to not be a such thing as overtime? Because in America they valued family more than, and it changed. I forget what year it changed, but it changed and they started letting people do overtime. In what is that? Is it Kenya? I know it's Eritrea. I know it's there. Like at a certain time of day, all of the people come home, and not even nighttime. All of the people come home. They take a break. Kind of the city shuts down. They take a break and they come home to eat and fellowship with family members. Right. Just a note to let you know that your money is not everything. It is a necessity, but you do have to take time out with family. All right, give me a second, people. Let's get this thing going. Okay, women are crazy for this. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Shout out to all of my people, my day ones and my stay ones. Those who have been rocking with us, who can even tell the difference between the show, between the equipment, between the quality of everything. Those are the ones who have really been here. That's why I call them my day ones and my stay ones. My stay ones are the people who heard about the hottest show online. And ever since they came, they've been here. But we definitely have a really hot show for you guys today. I'm going to say this too. I'm going to start off saying this. Listen, this is the best lotion I've ever had. When you're fresh out the shower, it'll give you a couple of problems, but listen, if no one's aware of it, I hope you guys don't think that I'm crazy, that I don't know that sometimes some of the shows that we do, they could be a bit offensive. I want to tell you guys a secret today. What this show is about is things that I can prove. It may not even be necessarily something that I stand on. I don't stand on enslaving women. I don't stand on completely taking women's rights, even though a lot of you have heard me say that if men were given 50% of rights, women should have only been given, if men were given 100% of rights, women should have only been given around 40 or 50. And see, the thing is, we can prove these things. We can prove these things. We can prove them by the things that have happened. We can prove them by the things that have happened. Today's show is going to be a little bit of turbulence, people. There's going to be some ripples in the water, right? But I'm telling you guys, if you can get past how it sounds to your ears, how it offends you, you'll find a ton of benefit in this information. I want to tell you guys how I know that this information works. I was hell on wheels all the way up until about 15 years ago, right? Winter is definitely here, brother. Frostbite has already set in. Who this message is for is who it's for. Our message is for women who they just didn't have the information and they do have it in them to do better. Our message isn't for a majority of the bulk of women. The majority of the bulk of women have already been westernized. Western culture is a poison to the majority of people that it touches. It promotes being disrespectful to men, which men are the consumers of women. For those of you who don't know, when I say consumers, men are the ones. A consumer is you. You are the boss when you pull up at McDonald's. You are the boss. Because without you, they can't continue to function, regardless how many amazing meals and combos they have. You are the boss. Listen, shout out to my Stay One, Canadian Bro TV up in this situation. My brother. See, listen, if you guys look at these chats, men have given up. And it's because we can't really fathom this new behavior. We can't fathom it. You guys have to understand what we're used to, what we were taught. We were taught that women are to lose your life for. That you jump in front of for her. Men wouldn't dare today. And today's show is going to be letting you know why. A woman is not supposed to be in any position of authority. Even the Bible says so. And the United States fell apart when they started dumping these high positions on women. A woman is an emotional creature. Listen, the Bible even says a woman is not meant to have authority over men. I want to show you guys something. One thing that's hot about our show, we don't just get up here and talk. Whenever we say things, we have the propensity to back it up. I want to show you guys one of the aspects of why women were not supposed to be authority. I want you to listen to this lady right here. Listen to her carefully enough, and you can hear that she's saying what she's saying all about women, right? Pay attention.
I'll never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking, you were probably raised by one. You hate your mother hoe?
She just called men hoes. Who does that? You know what? Let me start this over. I will never understand the beef that you guys have with single mothers. I'm going to let this flow.
I'll never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking, you were probably raised by one. You hate your mother hoe? As if women aren't allowed to have a fucking backstory as to how she ended up in that situation when the man is out here gallivanting about like a fucking horse. Dweeb.
Listen. What she's saying is we are helpless. There's nothing that we can do to keep from letting men nut in us. I want you guys to hear this one more time. I want you to listen.
Never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking you were probably raised by one. You hate your mother hoe? As if women aren't allowed to have a fucking backstory as to how she ended up in that situation when the man is out here gallivanting about like a fucking horse. Dweeb.
Again, she's saying we are helpless. There's nothing that we can do to keep from letting men nut in us. Listen to her carefully. The only option they have outside of admitting that they're powerless and they can't stop letting men nut in them is to say, what about the men? The men are gallivanting around. Or find some way to pin the blame on men whom they allowed to nut in them. There's nothing that you can say about men that removes the burden of responsibility for your own life from you. There is nothing that you can do. You can't say anything about a man. You can't say anything about how he cheated because it can all be prevented. There is absolutely nothing that you can say and nothing that you can do to make someone else responsible for the outcomes of your life. There's nothing you can do. And the reason we know is because you don't share the blame when you guys do something of positive significance. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed you never hear a woman saying, I worked so hard for this college degree, but I owe most of it to my man. Right? Look at this amazing house that I bought, but I couldn't have did it without my man. You don't share the blame for amazing things. This is how we know there is absolutely nothing that you can say, nothing that you can do to make someone else responsible for the outcome of your life. It doesn't matter the man's behavior at all. It doesn't matter what his behavior is. Only you can determine if you will or won't be a baby mama. And listen, there's multiple ways that you can guarantee that you won't be a baby mama. It's just that only special women can pull this off. That's why when women say, I don't have any kids, men's mouths are like, even if she's not that attractive, her value goes up. And to be honest, those who slip down that ladder twice are measured and deemed as weak women whose value has been compromised. If we're going to be real with this, that woman right there is a weak and dangerous woman. This is why women should not be in positions of authority, because they have not yet figured out how to be responsible and protect their own lives. I need you guys to understand what has to happen. What has to be going on for a woman to never learn to prevent men from nutting in them? At what point in time do you say, this is not good for the outcome of my life? Now, I know as good as it feels to be raw, there's 32 forms of contraception and birth control. I want you guys to think about the control that an individual has over themselves, or the lack thereof, when they can't stop having babies by multiple different men. As much as a stain that we already know it carries. Even women know. Men look at us. Hold on, check it out. Let's go if you want to go.
I'll never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking.
She said herself, I will never understand the smoke you guys have against single mothers. So that means she knows that there's some smoke against it. Yet, you can't stop doing it. So how could they be responsible for a nation or other groups of people? As much of a stain that even they know it is to be a baby mama, they still can't stop becoming one. I'm going to let women come up and explain it to us, because I want to know, how can you not stop letting men nut inside of your body, which is supposed to be sacred? Listen, these are very, very, very dangerous people with limited control over themselves. They've heard it in songs. They've heard other people say men are dark for years, for decades. They've heard mainstream media suggest that black men don't stick around or that black men don't take care of their children. And yet they still fall for it. They still can't gain enough control of themselves to refrain from letting men nut in them, man after man after man. I want to say this out loud so it sounds as foolish to you as it does to me. Listen to me when I say this. I can't stop letting men nut inside of me. I can't. This is basically what they're saying. I can't stop letting men nut inside of me. Look at it. We see it. We see it. Do you know how vulnerable and how much of a liability any human being with this little control of their life is? They can't even trust themselves. I don't know why this isn't as big a deal to everybody else. This is a very limited amount of control that another human being has over themselves. Listen to me again. They're basically showing you, well, not basically, they're showing you, I can't, even the beautiful ones, they're telling you, I can't stop letting men nut inside of me. Man after man after man. They can't even trust themselves. They can't trust themselves. The reason we have proof, they were given control over the black families. And look at black families. Look at how the children are turning out. Yet, studies suggest the kids don't turn out this way when they're raised with their fathers, the boy or the girl. The boy or the girl. Now listen, I want to say this to you guys. I definitely know that sometimes the information that you hear me speak, I know it sounds harsh, but what's happening to us is even more harsh. What everybody is seeing of us is even more harsh. People hate us. And it's because of black women. Black fatigue. They're coming up with terms that make us look disgusting. But here's the difference. Black men can get out of it because we are the most desired race of men on the entire planet. People have found that we're not like African American women. The only reason that we get up here and give beautiful Albanian, lest me and you not fall out. Now, you've been up under my tutelage for a long time. You should know better than to say something like that. I believe there's still good women around there. Not all are bad. Beautiful Albanian, stop it. Now, you've been taught better than this. I don't want to have to say this every show. All white people aren't racist. All black people don't steal and gangbang. We know not all, but we can pinpoint the percentage. We can pinpoint the percentage. 63% of them, 63 to 67% have multiple children that have been polled, have multiple children by multiple men. That's a problem. 57% of women who have had children have secretly pinned the child on a man who's not really the father. That's over half, right? So we know not all, but it's a huge number. It's a huge percentage of them that are. You know I don't play that, beautiful Albanian. You've been rocking with us for far too long to even think that. My girl tripping tonight. She said, let's stop it. You tell them to stop it. That's what we're saying. But let me say this. I very well know that this message isn't for everybody. The majority of them can't control themselves, right? This is why women are referred to as the weaker vessel in the Bible for a reason. You can't even stop letting worthless men get you pregnant, right? If you listen to this woman, she's pretty much admitting that they can't stop. The only thing that she can do is suggest how bad men are. Look.
I'll never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking, you were probably raised by one. You hate your mother, hoe? As if women aren't allowed to have a fucking backstory as to how she ended up in that situation when the man is out here gallivanting.
As if women aren't allowed to have a backstory as to how she ended up in that situation. How long? How long? And how many backstories? You have multiple children by multiple men. How many backstories do you need in order to say this? You don't even need a backstory. I do tell my friends to go to your husbands, but some people made mistakes, Stacy. We can't change that. We can change continuing to make them. This is an ongoing thing. We're not talking in past tense. This is an ongoing thing. These women are allowing creeps, people they met at night, to nut inside of them. And they're even doing it when they're in long-term meaningful relationships and marriages. When they cheat, they don't make the person wear a condom. Right? This woman right here, she's saying, as if women aren't allowed to have a backstory. How many of you know cousins, friends, or family members who have multiple children by multiple different men? Right? Talk good to me. How come some of them couldn't have learned from your other cousin who got stuck with 3 babies? See what I'm saying? And it's terrible. All of these men, you're allowing them to dump their souls inside of your body. One of them's a kleptomaniac, so now you got this turbulence swirling around inside of you. One of them has a temper, so now he's dumped his turbulence inside of your soul. Another one of them, he's a chronic cheater. Another one of them is a bum, and he needs to borrow money from you. You're allowing these specimens to dump their souls inside of you like it's not going to affect who you are and start merging with your soul. And now people are seeing that you're kind of unpleasant. The reason that people kind of look at you a certain way is because it's not just one soul contamination. You've allowed several to do it. And over the course of 15 years, you probably have 40 bodies. Lord God up in heaven above. The girl who we just saw in the video, she's basically saying we can't stop. Like they're out of control and not strong enough to keep from letting men nut inside of them. Now, I don't know how it feels to be a woman, so I'm trying to have a bit of empathy here. I'm trying to have some empathy. We don't know how it is to be a woman. We know that they're highly emotional, and we know what we've done to women when the sex was good. But geez, at what point in time do you say I can't keep destroying my life? At what point in time do you say people look at me different? When do you get shame? We know that women who don't have children get applauded. We know that. So what's the opposite of that? You know who gets a break? A woman with one child, because it appears that she's learned. It appears that she has learned. We don't understand it, people. I'm going to be honest with you. We really don't understand it. We look at these things like, you guys really have no self-control. JTG says shame should be brought back. That's one of the only things that would, yeah, that's 1,000%. That's 1,000. Shame and embarrassment are tools that God put inside of us. They are alarms that when we get too far, like appetites, there's an alarm that goes off inside of us and lets us know when it's time to proceed on to the refrigerator. These are all amazing elements that God designed and put inside of us so that they can govern us. We are supposed to be ashamed to do certain things, people. We simply are. And African American women, I know that you guys get tired of hearing us talk about African American women. I know. And I empathize with you because it does sound like we're constantly picking on you. But what you're doing, that we're simply describing openly in the air, is worse than us speaking about it. The things that we say that make you mad, you're actually doing those things physically. So if what we're saying makes you mad, how does what you're doing make you feel? Ooh, beautiful Albanian is on one tonight. She said, I love my sisters. You keep on. You keep on. Shout out to my people over here on YouTube, setting it off, kicking it in. You know what I mean? Supporting the show like usual. When is it enough? When do you say I don't want to be looked down upon? Do you black men have standards? Yes, I did. Mufasa said, "Unc, did you see the video of the woman who I should have uploaded that? Do you see the video of a younger girl tossed a drink in a man's face and then punched him? He didn't even do nothing. He was just walking down the street and she passed him about this close. He said, 'Excuse you.' She turned around, threw a drink in his face and punched him. Do you know what we can do to you? Like this. Do you? And see, then you guys say, no matter what, a man shouldn't hit a woman. I'm not going to speak on that. Look, JTG said, I saw that. Do you know what we can do to you if you trigger us? We can really, for real, I'm just saying, we can snap bones in half with our hands. That's why men are cautious to get into it with each other, because of the high levels of damage that we know we can do. And you are going to throw a drink in our face? I don't care. Let's go. Turbulence, people. For those of you who aren't familiar, that means we're about to rock the boat a little bit. I'm a victim blamer. I said it. I'm a victim blamer. Anytime we see that a man went high-level aggression on a woman, even took her life, 30 times, what I do is I ask myself, what made a man do that? He didn't just come home from work and everything was nice. Ooh, the dinner smelled so amazing. She had his favorite slipper sitting at the door, had his robe waiting on him, had his favorite cigar sitting on the table, had his favorite drink, TV turned on what she know. No, that's not what happened. Something happened. We all know this. So you would do well to stop playing with men. You would do well. Christian Pittman in this situation with the lightning bolt. Diego in this situation. You would do well to tread lightly when it comes to men. You would do very well. I was about to say this, because men can snap. And when we snap, men are the closest thing you have to modern day superheroes. And I'm talking about as far as power and strength. Do you know what men are capable of? There has been reports of men picking up small cars off of their children. When adrenaline but see, here's what you like to do. You like to post the videos on the thing like you were just walking down the street and some man just, right? I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but that's one of the rare occasions. Especially as it pertains to relationships. Men don't have amazing women and just come home with a blade and ZF up in this situation, my day one. So I'm warning, this isn't even a part of the show. I'm warning you women, tread lightly when it comes to men, because you don't know how his day went. If you can provoke a man to snapping, there's nothing good that can come out of it. Ladies, those of you, shout out to my brother Mike checking this situation. Those of you who talk crazy to your men, you don't know what today is. You don't know what happened today. You don't know how my boss made me feel. You don't know. Tread lightly, because it's those of you who make the world news. And then people gain sympathy for you because nobody really gets to hear the man's story, or even when they do hear the man's story. Some of you have men who have told you over and over and over and over and over to watch your effing mouth. But you have him down packed already. You know that that's the extent that he goes. You know that he typically runs his mouth. You know that. So you keep pushing the button. And mother effer, I wish you would. Well, one day he is going to. One day he will. And then you'll gain the sympathy of the world, but you'll still no longer be here, or you'll be messed up. Let's normalize being respectful. Let's normalize not provoking men, then turning yourself into victims. We all know what a man is capable of. We are the superpowers of the world. We built the world that you live in. Men who drive forklifts. You guys don't even acknowledge how important a man who drives a forklift is. That's crazy to us. Even that is crazy to us. That men make your lives easier every day. I want to go back to this woman. I want to play this one more time because of how significant it is. This woman is basically letting you know, listen to her. We can't control ourselves. Listen.
I'll never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking, you were probably raised by.
I want to say this again. She knows that it's a stain to be a baby mama, right? She knows. She said, I'll never understand the smoke that you guys have against baby mamas. If you know that there's smoke, how did you even let it happen? You didn't even have to let it happen to you. You could have just simply saw it happen to other people. That's it. And all you have to do is look at your girlfriend, look at your sister, look at your cousin and say, she can't go to the girls' trips with us anymore. She can't hang out with us anymore. All you have to do is look at that stuff and say, I don't want that to be me, but you don't. I want you to listen to this. This girl is basically telling you, we can't control ourselves. Listen.
You hate your mother, hoe?
Look at her mouth. Do you know what can happen by calling a grown man a hoe? Do you know what happens when men call each other bitchs and hoes? Yes, you do know. You've read about it in the newspaper. You've seen it on the news. So why do you think you can do it?
Women aren't allowed to have a fucking backstory as to how she ended up in that situation when the women aren't allowed to have a fucking backstory as to how she ended up in that situation when the man is out here gallivanting about like a fucking horse.
You keep pinning it on men. You guys are responsible for getting pregnant. It does not take two to tango. How come you guys haven't gotten pregnant by the men who sleep under the bridge on Skid Row? How is it you can control yourself then, but then when you get pregnant by someone out here, it's the man's fault? How is it you had enough strength to not get pregnant by the homeless men under Skid Row or the homeless men under the bridges in Chicago? See, this is why we know that you guys are lying. You can control who gets the poontang then. But when it comes to us, men who somewhat have it together, what about the men? No. You are responsible for the outcome of your life. These are facts. These are facts. I really, really want to see the new stats of how many people have opted of dating out. Father knows best in this situation. I'm curious. I'm like Joe. I want to know. Once these stats are revealed, women are going to see how few options they have left to date good men in America. Where are my people at? We have to meet our $50 threshold today, people. With our cash apps, the real Stacey Prince. You guys know we push out nothing but high quality product. We need 10 people to kick out $5 or 5 people to kick out 10. You know we should be saying more than that because this is the hottest show online, right? And I don't mind letting you know. Hottest show online, people. I swear. My people down in the chat. Listen, I need you guys to get those likes up too here over here on YouTube. Skrillet, scratch. Up in here sending the heart out. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, TikTok, I really need you guys. Listen, we're supposed to have 20,000 likes. Listen, you guys know this is the hottest show online. I need you guys to kick us up with 20,000 likes. Tap that screen. And whoever it is tapping the screen right now, that's what I'm talking about. YouTube, we have half the likes of people we have in here. The International Quiet Storm dropping bombs with the $50 cash app. When I say day one, I mean day one. For real. And I want to send a shout out to my day ones, been rocking with us ever since we were using iPhones for cameras. Listen, those of you who have not become members, it's like $4.99 to become a member. That's when I drop all of the exclusive content. Listen, my mother. Shout out to Mike checking this situation with the $20 cash app over in this situation. You heard my brother. Let's go. Right? Those of you on Instagram and on YouTube, if you subscribe to be a member, you get to see what no one else gets to see. You get to see what it looked like when we first started this show. You get to see clips. Listen, you get to see something I've never shown anybody. For those of you who have been rocking with me, I've built things, right? I don't let people see them, but something told me the people who really rock with the show, they deserve an intimate aspect of me, who I really am, the things that I've built, the patents that I have on things. So I have patents on them. So something told me to go ahead and put them in the members only post. You have to be a member to see these things on Instagram or on YouTube. It's something that you won't want to miss. It'll give you a greater understanding of who I am and where the information that we share comes from. I advise you to check that out. On Instagram, those of you who spend a lot of time on Instagram or YouTube, subscribe to be a member, right? And you'll get a deeper gist of who I am. Brother Skrilla up in this situation. Stepping 720. My people. Listen, shout out to Kush in this, one of my day ones. For real. Listen, it's an honor and it's a privilege to me that the people who have been rocking with us since the beginning, they've been rocking with us for real. This thing has been going on for 3 years. Right? Hottest show online. You know, only a special woman, I'm going to say it, only a special woman can acknowledge on this platform that women should not have authority and leadership over men in any capacity. These are the women that men select. Women outside of that are out of control, and they're not strong enough even to keep men from letting men nut inside of them. And this is where all of the chaos you see in society is coming from. Women who can't control themselves are in high positions of power, right? I want to show you guys something. Those of you, you're going to want to come over here to the Instagram, to the YouTube. Go down to my TikTok, touch the YouTube icon, and it'll send you right over here. I'm about to show you guys some clips that are going to, listen, we don't just get up here and talk. We have, shout out to my brother Mike check up in this situation. Listen, my day ones are snapping today. My brother over here setting it off. You already know, we keeping it a hundo over. Yeah, I told you guys, my day ones are simply that. My day ones. And they rock strong with us. And it's not because they think that this is a weak show. Locks for Life, my girl up in here. And I'm going to drop some real spill on my brother one more time. The International Quiet Storm. Been supporting us, been rocking with us. It takes a special woman to say, or even acknowledge privately to herself, I shouldn't be acting like this towards a man. I shouldn't be bossing up towards him. I shouldn't be challenging him. It will never go right for you. I promise you it won't. There's one way that it'll go right for you. There's one way that you can be that type of person and still be in a relationship. But you won't like it because your selection of men who will put up with that. Beta! Yes. You'll have to date a lesser than man, a weak man. And listen, let's be honest. Watch this. All of the ladies on TikTok, all of the ladies, all of the ladies on YouTube, give me a thumbs up if you like soft, weak men who let you do whatever you want to and they give you no pushback. Give me a thumbs down If that's not your cup of tea, watch this. Watch this. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like weak men who let you run all over them. There we go. That's about 10 thumbs down all in one. Look, Black Dove. Look. This is what I'm telling you guys. Listen, ladies, give me a thumbs down if you're not with being with a man who lets you run all over him. Give me a thumbs down. If you are attracted to that, give me a thumbs up. I want to see. I want to see. They're scared to admit it. Because if they admit it, then they have to start fixing themselves to where they qualify. Paris in this situation. Women don't like it. They can't even be attracted to a beta male. They can't. Listen, those of you who want to see these clips that we're about to show, you do well to come over here to YouTube because you're going to see some things that are going to let you know that we substantiate all of our claims. When I tell you that these are women who can't control themselves and they're in high positions of power, I want you guys to look at Tiffany Haynyard, right? I want you guys to look at Tiffany Haynyard.
Tiffany Haynyard is the most controversial mayor in all of America. So this mayor named Tiffany Haynyard is the mayor of a place called Dalton.
They said the most controversial mayor in all of America. Do you know what you have to do to earn a title like that? Look at the title. Tiffany Haynyard is America's funniest corrupt mayor. For those of you who aren't familiar with her, she's a mayor in Dalton, Illinois, right? Here's what she did. Those of you who have seen Nino Brown, you even saw Martin Lawrence do a rendition of it. When Nino Brown was betrayed, he called all of his soldiers in at a long table meeting. He brought a Rottweiler with him, and he walked around the table dressed in black and said, "Don't nobody know how we got infiltrated? Nobody know nothing? Nobody know nothing? Nobody? Oh, somebody knows something." Tiffany Haynyard was at a council meeting, came in, dressed like Nino Brown, and did a rendition of the show on a serious level. Look at the mayor. Listen, look at the mayor in Atlanta. No, this wasn't even a mayor. This was a judge in Atlanta, right? Look at this.
No, take me. And I don't care. You don't need identification. You have locked people up and you have picked up dead bodies when you don't know who bodies it was, but you picked them up.
Judge Peterson was charged with simple battery against a police officer and obstruction of a...
This is a judge, was at a nightclub fighting. Resisted arrest and everything. Women cannot control themselves. This is why God set men over them. We know God's not crazy. God knows everything. He's the master and creator of the universe. I know about Chicago and her. I know it. He said, yeah, I know about her. I'm in Chicago, so you know I know. It crazy. Like, listen, some of the things she was doing, you would think people will try to get away with doing. Listen, YouTube, we got to do better than this. We got to do better than this. We got half the likes of the people we have in here. I definitely appreciate the people who have been rocking with us. You guys did push the number of viewership up. Right.
Law enforcement officer. Her lawyer is asking for this case to be dismissed. The woman who was initially escorted out of the nightclub by the officer.
I want you guys, those of you on TikTok, come over here and look at this woman has a whole boob. Listen, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait till TikTok comes over here. Go down in my TikTok profile hit the YouTube icon. It'll send you right over here. Right? Listen, and shout out to my brother. That's real spill right there. Shout out to my brother, the Jeremy Hill Show. My brother. Yeah. I remember Rev Jeremy Hill saying something about this too. Women nowadays don't deserve to preach and yes. It ain't even nowadays. The Bible said it in biblical times. I usurped a woman to not have authority over man. She is not to teach. The Bible even goes so far as to say, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in church. And if she is to learn, let her learn from her husband at home. Have you ever heard women twist the Bible up to suit them and their feelings? This is why. God knows all of this. Okay, listen. I want to show you guys. Look at this woman. Has a whole boob. It's actually pretty sexy, to be honest. Let's go.
Judge Peterson was charged with simple battery against a police officer and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Her lawyer is asking for this case to be dismissed.
Look at this. It's almost a whole boob hanging out. Look. My girl said not the half boob. That's a judge. That is a judge. I'm just being honest with you. Look at this. It's actually pretty sexy from a man's perspective. Look. My people said, nah, she ain't out here like that. Come on now. That's actually sexy to a man. And that's her mugshot, I believe.
Yes, the woman who was initially escorted out of the nightclub by the officer in this incident.
If she makes one false move, that nipple is right there. That thing is right above her nipple. But if she had a man governing her, she wouldn't be allowed to do it. You guys look at these. Listen, and this woman was caught in Atlanta. This is an Atlanta judge who was caught drunk at a nightclub resisting police.
Claims that an unidentified man accused her of cutting him in line at a food truck, which led to this disturbance. She claims.
Look at her. I'll tell you who a special woman is. A special woman is a woman who acknowledges, I cannot be the head of a man. You can't. You can't be the head of a man. Right? A man won't tolerate it. The men who you like them because they won't tolerate it. All of this, what's the word? Is not tolerated with a real man. Listen, look at the woman who's in Congress right now, who sits in Congress. Can't control herself. She can't even keep from acting like a NIGGA, even in the presence. Let's go.
The only reason we're having this hearing is because somebody got their feelings hurt in a debate. And I don't understand why we're wasting taxpayer dollars. Next time, tell your big boy to show up and be ready to handle the woman in the room who hopefully will become the next president of the United States. And the final thing that I will say is that this election, I didn't ask you a question. The final thing that I will say is that this election is the best example of why y'all are so afraid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because then you can't have a simple-minded, underqualified white man somehow end up ascending. Instead, you've got to pay attention to the qualified black woman that is on the other side. And with that, I will yield.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, even I'm tired of that black woman talk. Simple black woman, black woman, black woman. I'm tired of it. Earn your respect. And that's what men know about. Earn your respect. I'm tired of the whole black rhetoric. Stand up with your chest out and earn what you want people to give you. Shout out to my girl over in this situation with the super chat. Red Talk. And in this situation, my long lost girl. I've been checking your content out too. Judge Bodycon. Look. Listen, that's what I was on. Yes, she does. Listen. She curses and everything. Listen, I'm not telling anybody to be perfect. I'm not telling anybody to be perfect. Beautiful Albanian, stop playing. I acknowledge you in the show. But listen, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for everything. This woman can't control herself even in the public eye, right? There's a time and place for everything. Oh my gosh. I won't even read any more of Black Dove. Black Dove, you definitely have to pay for your super chats to get read. I'm not even going to frazzle and fry my brain with that. Listen, y'all heard what my bro said. Tap the screen. We need to be at 10,000. We really need to be at 20,000. YouTube, TikTok. And shout out to all of the people rocking with us over here on YouTube. Yeah, right. I'll acknowledge you if you cash app your way on over here or super chat. This girl is nuts. Nuts. This is why this show exists. Listen, she can't control herself even in the public eye. Whenever you see a woman who can't control herself even in the public eye, that is a dangerous individual. That is a dangerous individual. Look at the rate of the people that are finding out children they thought was theirs are not theirs. Right? I don't think you guys understand the extent of when I say these women cannot control themselves. You being in a relationship with them does not stop them from letting another man nut in them. You think you're safe because you're in a relationship? We all know that everything that I'm saying is true. All of the studies, there's proof to what I'm saying. Look at the divorce rate of women being out of control. 80% of the time a divorce is filed, the women do the filing. Listen, when they gain any type of leverage, such as a college degree, it goes up to 90%. Women are absolutely out of control by nature and must be under the leadership of a man, or else chaos will come out of them. We're seeing it. This is a judge walking around with half a boob out at a nightclub. I'm not saying a judge has to relinquish her desire to have fun and things like that, but you are supposed to be an example. Cursing at police officers and the whole nine. I'm talking about even the ability to talk like a classy lady. Instead, what's inside of them, once unleashed, I want you to pay attention to this. We don't just get up here and talk. If you want to know what's inside of a woman who is not under the authority of a man, pay attention.
I'll never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking, you were probably raised by one. You hate your mother, hoe? As if women aren't allowed to have a fucking backstory as to how she ended up in that situation.
Listen at her mouth. Listen at her mouth. That's what's inside of them once it's unleashed. They filed for differences, which means they didn't put their ex-husbands, I don't understand what she's saying. They didn't put their ex-husbands on child support. I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know. But what we do know is a family has just gotten a nuke bomb dropped in it the moment they file. They file for petty reasons. You can look up the reasons they file. I was no longer happy. INSA, what it is, irreconcilable differences. No, they can be reconciled. You just can't wait to get back out there. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys, for those of you who think we're crazy and you don't think that we know why you guys are jumping out of these relationships. Bang, 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 daddy, bang, 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 daddy, bang. You can't wait to get back out there in those streets and get your buns blistered. Listen, do you guys think that we're crazy and we don't know what's... I'm not even going to speak on that. Not even going to speak on it. Let's do this. I want all of the women right now. I want all of the women on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell us how clueless you think men are as to what you guys are doing in society, why you're doing it. On a scale of 1 to 10, give me a number of how clueless you think we are. Like that we don't know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Please, I really want to answer to that. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning we really, really know and you know we know. Look at beautiful Albanian. I'm not going to stop till I get as the answers that I want, or a certain amount of numbers of women that participate. On a scale of 1 to 10, Miss Wise, my girl. Right. I think they do think like you are a different version of us. You are under us. Not only do we know what you do out there in the streets, we know why you filed for divorce. We know what you're trying to get back out to because we do it to you. You come crawling back to us. Even when you're in the relationships, you sneak. Have you heard of the term work wife? Work husband? You think we don't know? We don't even need to hear it from these studies and statistics. You're mingling with us when you do it. It is us that you come crawling back to. It is us that you give head to, even though you're still married and pretending that you're in a love, that you love your husband. Ladies, we know what's going on with you. It's not no irreconcilable differences. When most women file, shout out Chicago in this. Hold on, I know that ain't my guy. No, that can't be my guy. When most women cheat, we know that they're not cheating unless they already have some type of cushion or reserve to fall upon. Because if you just leave a man for no other man, there's nothing to keep your heart from hurting, things like that. If you have no intentions, listen, we don't even have to do that. In the African American community, what is it? Between 50 and 70% of the women in the African American community who are in relationships already have a backup plan and know his name, which we know you're likely already letting him smash. Bang, 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 daddy, bang. Salute, salute, salute. Hey, Tay said a mouthful over here like that. Listen, we usually require a Cash App or Super Chat to read the comments, but I got to read this because I believe it. Tay B said they're possessed. I think we all know that to be a fact. We all know it to be a fact. I think somebody done hijacked Beautiful Albanian's account. Locks for Life said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how accurate do you think men are? How knowledgeable do you think men are as to what women are doing out there in the streets and why they are doing the things that they do? Because it almost seems the lies that you tell makes us think that you think we really don't know what's going on. You're doing it with us. You've been married for X amount of years, yet you're in the mop closet at work getting busted down. Listen, they just revealed, look this up. I think it was 10 women who worked in a hospital. These were RNs who are all pregnant, 10 of them. Likely by the same man. They said the hospital and RNs are the most likely to cheat. Listen, I'm just going to say it. You're so out of control that you've turned yourselves into something other than women. It's like you simply can't help yourselves. There's some of you right now who think you have an amazing woman and you believe she would lose her life before she ever betrayed you. I'm just going to say it like this. Turbulence, people. I dare you go get a blood test for your children. I said it. A man who completely, with his whole heart trusts a woman is a man who has found a way to take delight in destruction. In order for you to deal with a woman accurately, and I want everybody to hear this. I want all of my fellas to hear this. Not true what? Look, my girl said a 10. You heard my brother Mike Check said, where are my show supporters? I don't like it when, we keep watching the main people who have always been show supporters show support to the show. Where's our new people who know that this is the hottest show online? Turbulence, people. Turbulence. I want to say this. In order for you to deal with a woman, you act adequately, you must be in possession of something that she's afraid of. You must. Listen, this woman must fear something that you possess. There must be something that you control that she's afraid of that prohibits her from crossing certain lines. Listen. I'm not going to say what I really want to say. And listen, parts of the show, for those of you who missed it, shout out to my brother Ali in this situation with the Cash App. Rock with my people. Showing love and support to the show. You guys know we put that work in over here, right? Those of you who weren't here and you didn't get the 411 on amazing content we have, sometimes if you hear me say, I'm not going to say that right here. If you guys become members on my Instagram or my YouTube, it's like $4.99 a month. You can just become a member. This is where I go and I say the things that I really want to say. This is where I go and show you the things that I've built in my life that have patents on it. This is where I give the members aspects of me that are exclusive, right? I think it's important that you guys know who I really am in order for you to adequately trust my information outside of the proof that we bring on the show. Don Juan up in this situation. Why is it so... Jeez. I'm about to let women up so you guys can explain to us what we're missing. Because I don't like to just get up here and talk. I like the women to give their input too. I like to let the women give their input. Maybe you know something that we don't know that could cause us to look at things completely different. But as of right now, shout out to Tay B up in this situation with the cash. That's what I'm talking about. My people showing up for the show tonight. Seaside up in this situation. I'm going to drop a link up in this piece. My people are showing love to the show today. Let me get some people up here. because I don't mind. Listen, we don't desire to just, have certain information that makes women look bad. That's not our desire. This is information that is studied and researched. Now, if you know something that we don't know, you called me a demon last time. Turbulence, people. Standing on it. The Bible says, wherefore you shall know them by the fruits that they bear. Fruits that they bear, meaning things that they do, way that they behave. It is so easy to tell a person who is walking according to the pattern of, no, I just shouted you out, Tay B. Respect. I always like to let my people know we appreciate them. Look, ZF said it. We already know. We already know. Listen, here's the thing. I'm not going to say it right here, but you can see the things that I probably shouldn't say out loud on these platforms. You can see it if you're a member of the YouTube or if you're a member of my Instagram. My exclusive members, this is where I give them things that other people don't have access to. I'm not going to say what I really want to say right here. I'm not going to do that. But certain laws that have been come into play that keep you from keeping a woman in line like 60 years ago, I could almost say it. I can't find any wording that'll keep me from saying it, but I'll just say there's certain laws that have been put in play that keep men from being able to keep women. I'm not talking about, throwing you off a bridge or something like that. But there's certain things that they do that affects a multitude of people without being under leadership of a man. So you have to do it a different way because there's certain laws you can't snatch her up and all that. Mine's no. I don't have these issues, and I want to put that out there. I do not have these issues. The women I deal with, they know what it is. I will never have to worry about, you guys will never have to hear about me. And I've said this over and over and over. I don't have these issues, but I know cousins who do. I know people I rock with on here who do, right? We all just know it. We see it on here. I've had DEATH wished up on me by women up here. We know how out of pocket women are. So since you can't snatch a woman up, things like that, and I never condone punching a woman. I never condone that. But I do believe getting a woman under control. Not if it's a woman you don't mind losing. If you don't mind losing her, get rid of her, right? But if it's a woman you've built 15 years with or something, you've really built a life with her, I don't advise people to just throw that individual away because you guys have built things together. Get her under control. You have to listen. Other ways other than that, you have to become really, really valuable. And she has to know for a fact that any luxuries that she gets by being connected to you will be cut off swiftly at the slide of a sign of disrespect. You have to have something over her head, right? A woman must be blackmailed in order to keep her under control these days. Or there will be a night where you're kissing her without knowing that you're tasting another man's jizz on your tongue. They can get that out of pocket. And if you disagree with me, if you think that I'm just up here saying it, you tell me how so many men are finding out that children are not theirs. It's because the women are having unprotected sex. Look at Eve. Look what Eve did. The moment she got out of Adam's sight, look what Eve did. Now, ladies, those of you who are taking offense to this, don't take offense to it. Why not just absorb the information and say, I need to start listening to this information. I need to start doing exercises at home that help me change. How about that? How about that? Because what you guys are doing now is something that has not been done. Big Mike in this situation. I appreciate it. Listen, that's real. What these women are doing is abominable. They have taken, listen, I always tell people this. Women are the new bad boys. Men can't hold a candle to you guys these days. The things that you guys are doing make men look like saints. World. Anybody who disagrees with me, come up here. Let's talk about it. Right? Let's go. If you disagree with all of the things that I've laid out tonight, come on up here and let's talk about it. Have a respectful conversation. Big Mike in this situation, stepping in, supporting the show. Listen, those of the other of you, if you have a Cash App, it is the real Stacey Prince for the hottest show online. We got to stop watching the regulars contribute to the show. If you rock with the show and you know that there's viable, accurate information, show love to the show, people. God, dog. I'm telling you guys, today's women are dangerous. I know we've played it a couple of times, but I want to hear this again. I want you guys to hear this.
I'll never understand the smoke y'all have against single mothers when statistically speaking, you were probably raised by one. You hate your mother home?
Listen, I want to say this. I want to say this to everybody. Why do you guys bring our mothers up? Like we won't condemn past actions of our mothers. I will never understand the smoke you guys have against single moms when studies show that you're likely conceived by or that you were likely a product of a single mom. Okay, does that mean that we shouldn't acknowledge that how she was moving was wrong and brought some type of significant psychological damage and trauma in our life? Do you guys think that because it's our mom, we won't say, my mom shouldn't have been out there tricking, selling coochie on that street corner? What do you guys think? See, this is why we're different than you. You think you can blackmail us out of condemning something you do? If our mom did it, I will tell my mama. That's why men and women are different. We condemn you guys for shooting up that brown drug and you, but your mama did. How you gonna condemn? Because my mama was wrong, fool. If my mom is out there running in banks with and taking their money, no, she's really doing that. What am I supposed to say? Well, she didn't ROB that bank, but she took what they had. Is that what we're supposed to see? This is why I say we're not like you. We can really, that accountability thing, men don't have issue with that. We don't take up issue with that. Oh my gosh. Black Dove, I'm going to let you come up here. Shout out to my brother Mike checking this situation. Today's women are masculine in every way. They move like men. Don't kiss them and don't miss them. If you must fornicate, make sure that you vacate. That's so real. Do you know how messed up that is that we're saying this as men? That is messed up that we're saying this. Yeah, let's go, Black Dove, since you want to smoke.
I'll make you famous.
I'm your huckleberry.
And since you run in your mouth, you better come up here. Jojo, we don't even care what you say. As far as you're concerned, we don't even believe you're a real person. Listen, there's two people who come to this show regularly and don't have viable information. They just spew out garbage. It's like they poop words out of their mouth. I don't have to promise nothing. Either get up here or we'll take the next course of action. Who you think you talking to? I'll come up if you promise. I don't have to promise anything. You don't have to be alone. Somebody tell me what your favorite child making song is. Tell me what song will get you to making a baby. I won't never invite her again. That's how we kill that. Somebody tell me what your favorite song is that'll get you up in the sheets making babies. Woman or a man. Father knows best. Anything, by R. Kelly. Anything? Anything. Well, I don't know which one that is, but I'm not even reading her. She's another crow. Anything by R. Kelly. I know if Kels wrote it, it's probably fire. You guys can't name anyone. We went all the way back to Guy, Keith Sweat, all of them. You guys can't name anyone who's strong, who tougher than R. Kelly when it comes to matching that catalog. No. Listen. Big Mike said any song by R. Kelly. Prove it wrong. So we have no women who want to come up tonight. That'll end the show early. And my people have been contributing to the show. Yeah, Whispers, I agree. See, listen, that's the thing. Music kept women in check too. Our music was inspirational. Our music kicked out. Mike, check, you don't even have to explain to her. Women, this is America. Women are hard. This ain't just no Illinois thing. This isn't just a Michigan thing. This isn't an Indiana thing. We all know, because most of the people that we see on here, they're not from here. Big Mike in this situation. I appreciate you, my brother. Father knows best, do not play. But listen, that's what I wanted to say to you guys. Look at our mentors versus the mentors today. Look what these women have to look up to. Sexy Red, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Skanks on a whole different level. And listen, they're actually the same way we were taking in the information like R. Kelly was touching. No Diddy. R. Kelly was touching us. He was inspiring us to love, right? He was inspiring us to be delicate with women. We could actually get something from Jodeci, right? Keith Sweat. These guys were something to look up to be honest. They didn't teach us to treat women bad, things like that. You guys have women teaching you to be skanks at the highest level of it, to where we could smell it seeping out of your pores. I said it. 100%. Big Mike said, see, the problem with women is they want men to stay quiet and don't hold them accountable. That's a fact. We've done shows on that. That is a fact. And the reason we know is because, who was that? Brother Gino in this situation with the super chat. Glad to have caught you live. Just in my reminder state. I appreciate you supporting the show, my brother. Zeno said, I made my daughter off a chocolate factory. That's real spill. That's real spill right there. You have to think about it. Like, there's a drastic difference that has taken place, a significant difference. Yeah, she knows I'll cut her off. I don't care. You had one option to come up here. This show doesn't stop with you. Hey, Maxwell is that deal too. I'm not going to front. Hey, pretty brown eyes. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to front. Star Stepper. Shout out to my brother Mike Check for hitting us hard. No Diddy, man, for for contributing to the show. Hey, what old boy say? In a major way, right, Brodusky? Yeah, mint condition. But I don't think mint condition merges in today. I don't know. Maybe a couple of songs. We're talking about the things that mesh in with today's music and can still compete in this generation. But I guess maybe you're right. Yeah. Fire and Desire, that's hot. No doubt about it. Father Knows Best. I rock with Father Knows Best. Father Knows Best, keeping it calm and collective down there, keeping them in line. But listen, this is what I want to tell you guys. I want to know, listen, let's do this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how out of control do you guys believe modern women are? This is for anybody, men and women. On a scale of 1 to 10. And when I say out of control, they can't even respect themselves. Letting men nut in them, random men. How out of control on a scale of 1 to 10? Look, Big Mike said a 10. I want to see what people have to say on this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how out of control are modern women today? ZF said 22. Ladies, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay, Anaya, come on up. You can't see. Listen, this is what I'm saying. She said both genders. If what you're saying is true, Miss Anaya, then how is it that black men have been ranked the most desirable group of men on the planet today? What you're saying can't be true. It can't be. Come on up, Miss Anaya. That cute name. I promise I'll behave. I've always found it funny that, well, interesting is more the word. I've always found it interesting that people have no problem saying things, but they never have it in them to come substantiate it. Like when we talk, you guys know we always back these things up. We speak it. Like, I'm literally up here right now. Okay, watch this. See, she doesn't have good information. That's why she didn't come up. She said desirable for what they can do in bed. Anything beyond that is rare. These women, billionaires, marry us when we're broke and poor and not attractive. There's proof on that. Right? That thing that you guys talk about with the good in bed thing, we're just cool people. You can't discount that. The world thinks so. The world copies us. Not in the way they copy you. You guys pass on negative teachings to society. Period. And did. I said what I said. Black men are even the SHIT to each other. Why do you think? What's up, bro? We know we're dope. We know we are. Outside of us taking each other's lives and things like that, which is very bad. Shout out to Gino in this situation. Oh my gosh. Why did I even accidentally hit that? They call them high ratchetangs now, so that is pretty much a 10 to me. That's real. You guys should never be referred to as a disrespectful name. A woman, the class, the elegance, and the value of a woman was never heard of that you guys get talked about like you do now. Men don't value you. Men stop by to blast that thing and stretch that thing out. That's about it. Then they introduce you to the infamous belt buckle jingle. For those of you who don't know what the infamous belt buckle jingle is, that's when a man sees so little value in you that when he makes his pit stop over your house to pounce atop of you 7.5 times, the moment he releases, because he finds nothing in common with you, because he sees so little value in you, after that man releases, immediately, you hear him reach for his pants, signaling his exit. I know of many of you have been introduced to the infamous belt buckle jingle. Many of you. Shout out to Mike Check up in this situation. The super chat. I made my babies off deep thrust, pounding the uterus, dirty talk, heavy breathing, no music needed. I'm with you, my brother. I'm with you. A little bit of hair pulling, a little bit of choking. My people are nuts. Anybody want to come up? I'm dropping a link. You have something to say that... Where's Anaya at? Hey, my girl said, dang, just 7 pumps. Yeah. Where's Anaya at? Come and talk to me. Miss Anaya, come talk to me. I think she might even be a cutie. Is Miss Anaya a cutie? I think so. Yet here I am. Kind of pointless, though. It gives me a limit to say what I want. Well, we're adults, Miss Anaya. We should be able to improvise around saying certain things, right? Say something that rhymes with it. But come on up here. Let's talk. Give us some information that we don't have. See, that's another thing that we're open to doing. We're not women, so there's going to be times where you can give us insights that we don't already know about. And that's how the information is passed. That's how we learn things that we didn't previously know, right? Those of you who have comments that you want read on YouTube, hit the Cash App or Super Chat, The Real Stacey Prince. Prefer it be the Cash App because YouTube likes to pull pants down and, I don't know where they got the balls to take 70%. Jeez. Takes a lot of kahunas. Shout out to my brother ZF in this situation. Over here kicking in with the show. All right, if nobody's going to come up, there's no need for me to keep the show going. There is no need. We do have the hottest show online. We'll just wait, maybe recap tomorrow. Something of that nature. I'm going to give you guys a couple of more minutes and then you're going to hear this. And then you'll see this. Dang, I didn't know my music was going to cut off. Come and talk to me. I'm going to have to learn that hook because that's the only thing I know after Come and Talk to Me. That's my own thing. You like that?
Yeah, I like it a little bit.
What the heck is going on? Black Dove, what do we have wrong? Tell me why am I wrong so damn long? What do you think? Should I have started singing Black Dove? Tell me, talk to me.
I mean, per usual, Prince, you're wrong about a lot of things, but wait, I'm gonna refresh the page because it's all messed up. Hold on.
Okay, I'm going to check you out. Big Mike. He's Big Mike. Shout out to Miss Raquel in this situation. Black Dove coming in to shove all of the peace out of the place. I'm going to go to the left today. In case I go left. Black Dove, you don't believe women are like out of control at a high level?
No, it's like not working very clearly right now.
Do
Wait, give me a second, Prince.
Do you have Salvation Army internet? Listen, people, Black Dove got an internet plan with the Salvation Army and the Goodwill.
Yeah, I'm a black woman, right? So that must mean I'm just like some ratchet ghetto hood girl who can only
Now
afford
we
free
finding
internet,
our common
right?
ground. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I was
but
wondering when you were going to
Salvation
catch on.
Internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Now it sounds like you're
Salvation
starting to level
Internet
up.
says a man who knows absolutely nothing about me. But yeah, indeed, I can only afford free internet,
I
right?
just agreed with you, sweet. I just agreed with you.
That's what the
Got
problem
fake hair in
is.
your head right now, ratchet fingernails,
Oh yeah, so fake and so
Fi-
ratchet.
Fishy odor, smelling like
Fishy.
turpentine and vinegar down
Mm-hmm.
there.
Cummy cream tuna.
Got
Like
eye
all of
boogers.
the above.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna stop clowning,
Mm.
but talk to me. Talk to me. Black Dove,
No,
here's
no,
the issue I
no.
have with you. That word you use, that phrase you use is so ginormous. Like you say, I'm wrong about majority of the stuff, but when we let you up here, you can't never name anything that I'm wrong about. I don't mind being wrong. If you prove me wrong about something that I've said, I'll say, you know what, Black Dove, that made sense. Maybe I have to rethink my thoughts on that. But
Well,
it's
here's the thing.
word salad. You come with word salad.
Yeah, and I've been working on it, you know. That's a criticism that is fair. I'm not very concise. I struggle to connect with the average person and I've been working on it.
I
So,
think that's growth by itself that you admit that. You see how it was no problem for me to admit that that was growth? You don't do that, Black Dove. You say, listen, Black Dove, there's millions of people, millions of monthly views that I get of people who don't think my information is crazy, but yet you do. Who do you think is
okay,
wrong? Those millions of people or you?
the millions of people, the
I
the
agree.
opinions of millions of people, it doesn't matter to me that the numbers in the masses, like millions of people have been wrong. Literally, Galileo was
Okay,
executed
okay, Black Dove.
because
Let's get to the topic at hand. Tell me where I'm wrong at. Tell me where I'm wrong at.
Well, the first thing that you said that
Women are
really just
letting
rubbed me
men
the wrong.
come in them and they're out of control. That's what we were primarily talking about.
Uh, yeah, but the clip that you played about that woman saying like, "Oh, single mothers," and you were
Right.
like criticizing her, that's where you were first wrong.
Okay, Black Dove, explain to us where I was wrong at.
Wrong because
Listen, let me
single
say this. I don't mean to
mothers.
interrupt you, but I think here's what you need to start doing because right and wrong can be proven. I think sometimes you should say things like, I didn't agree with what you said because I can prove whether I'm right or wrong. You saying that I was wrong about something, that leaves the burden in your court to prove it wrong. But if you say I didn't agree with that, that's different, Black Dove. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but what I notice that you do is that you take statistics and you present them totally out of context and without any like again context, and then you're like, oh, the statistic says this, but you're lacking all the context, and when I bring to you the context you're like, that's your opinion. No, you've taken something and
You have
presented it
never
like,
brought any statistics up here. Stop it. We beg you to bring statistics up
no,
here,
no,
but
no,
you
I
never
didn't
do.
say I brought statistics. I
You
said that
did.
you
You said when
present.
I bring statistics, you said that I say when you bring statistics, you're taking it out of never mind. If you don't believe you just said that, Black Dove, God dog.
Watch it back like you like to tell me. I said that you bring statistics and you present them out of context. And then when I present the context, you criticize it and say it's my opinion.
When
That's
you
what I
present the
said.
context for what? Statistics, right?
For your statistics,
Okay.
yeah.
How can you present the right context if you're not talking about statistics? Right?
Because I'm talking about context. It's not that complex.
Context of statistics, right? But
Yeah,
that's
so
fine. Let's
you
leave it
present
alone.
this.
Listen, I'm going to ask you to do this. Please
Mm,
get specific and tell us something that I have wrong, sweetie.
I do want to be specific, but you just be like interrupting me. You don't like you be mean to me lately. I don't know what
Sweetie,
happened.
can
You
you
weren't
please
always mean to
do
me.
me that
Like, are you
justice?
gonna let me
I'm going to
talk?
give you the floor. Please just give us something specific, not a very broad. Please, I'm asking you.
Well, I already did. I was talking about that first clip that you played where the woman was talking about being a single mother and you had all this to say. I think you were wrong.
Wrong about what, sweetie?
I think that your evaluation of single mothers, including what that woman had to say, was wrong. First
Okay,
of all,
stop. You're not
it,
going to get specific, so we'll do this. People on
all
YouTube,
right,
the men
friends.
on YouTube and the men down here on TikTok, on a scale of 1 to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning bad, The lower you get, that means good. On a scale of 1 to 10, how unfavorable is it being a single mom in the eyes of men? Watch this, Dove.
But Prince, it doesn't even matter because you and I, we can't usually have a conversation because you interrupt me, like you yell at me, you don't let me speak, and I actually want to have a conversation with you, but you do this thing, and I just like, are we gonna have a conversation? Because you've been real mean to me in the last few lives, and like, if you want me to tell you what I think, okay, cool, but like, I'm not coming up here for
Dove,
you
you
to
just
like.
told me that you disagree with my assessment of it, and then I took it to the panel. They're saying 9s and 10s. Men are the consumers of women. What we say matters, not what you say. What you think, those of you who think you're beautiful, it does not matter what you think. Men are the consumers of women. It matters what we think. If we say that we have smoke with single moms, that's what that is, sweetie. Don't you get that?
I do get it, but women are also the consumers of men.
Oh
And
my
until we
gosh.
it's true, Prince, are we not? Who's the consumer of
No,
men?
you're
Is it another
not.
man?
You can't get married with that if
So
men
it's
don't
another
marry
man?
you.
And men can't get married if women don't marry them.
There's 3 million more women in the United States. Listen, it's 7 to 1, sweetie. Listen, there's not a man on here right now who, listen to me. There is not a man on this YouTube. There's not a man on this TikTok who cannot in 45 days get married. There's not.
That's false.
Let me
Prince,
rephrase
there's
that.
a
Let me
whole
rephrase that. There's not a man who doesn't have an addiction and is in his right mind who can't get married in 45 days, Dove.
that's false. There's a
And
whole
can you prove
male
it false? Can you prove it false? Prove it to me.
Yes, there's a whole male loneliness epidemic right now
It's
because women
because we don't like you and
think.
we don't want you.
No, it's because women don't like men. If it was their choice, then they wouldn't be so damn lonely.
Listen, that's really
Like
talking about
men
kids. That
can't
thing was
find
8. That
women.
poll that you're talking about was 18 to 25, man.
Okay,
It's kids.
what's your point?
It's kids.
Yeah,
The
and
average
women
male
don't
doesn't
like
come into
them.
his financial responsibleness until around the age of 40 and 60.
Okay, so why don't you do this poll, if I may suggest? Why don't you ask the people in the comments or the men in the comments, how many of them are in long-term committed relationships?
You can't do that because men have a value in their
Not.
bachelor status. Do you know how hard it is to get a man to relinquish his bachelor? Do you know what comes with?
Not at 45.
Oh my God. Do you know that is a man's prime? Did you know that?
Not at
40 is a
45,
man's
Prince.
prime. Listen, men come
It's
into their financial understanding between the ages of 40 and 60. We increase in value. Do you not agree with that?
Yeah, everybody comes into their financial prime in late age,
No,
but
women
as far as
don't. Women
dating is
mature faster
concerned,
than men do.
not at 45. Don't nobody want no man
Women
who
hit their
has to take a
decline around
meal and
32, sweetie. That's
plan
when
out
things start
sex.
sagging.
No, like women don't want that. They're not in their
Oh,
prime.
okay, you're right and I'm
Not,
wrong. Prove to me how what I said about single moms is wrong, sweetie. See, that's what I'm saying. You're giving your opinion and okay, let me ask you this. Who determines what men are attracted to?
nature and culture. And that's exactly, and I
You
don't
get
even,
used to this.
can I
You
even
get used to
start this
this.
sentence or are you going to interrupt me?
And get used to the infamous belt buckle jingle.
Prince, the thing is, I would never get used to that because I don't deal with men who think like that.
Dove, it's because you
I
can't
just
score.
don't.
Dove, it's because you can't score a man. You're a very mean woman. You're rude. You're impolite.
Prince, you know you like me. Like, that's the thing.
Well,
Like,
I
you try
did
to
used to
convince
like you.
me.
Your voice is pleasant,
Yeah, men
but the more
like
we
me,
started getting
Prince,
to
and
know
you
you,
try to
it's
convince
bad.
me
It's
that they
bad.
don't, but they do. Like, I don't deal, you can tell me until you're blue in the face that men don't like me. That's just not
Let
reality.
me speak
Like,
to him.
even
Hey,
you,
Dove, let me speak to him right now.
speak to who?
Your man.
I left him.
Turbulence, people.
I left him. You can't speak to him
Tell me
because
why
I'm
you left
across
him.
the
Tell me why you
country.
left him.
I left him because he was, I was a little bit naive when I met him, and I learned the hard way that a lot of the things that you guys say, specifically you, a lot of those things that you guys teach Black women and Black people, it's all bullshit.
I
And
asked you a
he
question.
was a
Tell me why you
mental,
left him.
psychological, emotional,
Why did you
and
leave him?
financial
Why did you
burden.
leave him? Why did you leave
I
him?
just said, I just
No,
said
you
why.
didn't.
If
That's
you
why I
were
tell you
talking
you're
over
word
me,
salad. No one can ever get any concise answers out of you. And I know that's why that man
if
was
you
doing.
didn't interrupt me, you'd be able to hear my
We have to
answers. And
interrupt you
to
to
be
keep you from
clear,
going on and on and on. You
challenge
yourself
yourself to
admitted
not
that you have
interrupt me.
issues communicating.
Yeah, I do, and so do you. Can you admit it? I just did.
Name an instance where I have an issue communicating. Name it.
I was just answering your question and you cut me off so much that you didn't even hear it.
That's an issue
That's an example.
communicating?
Yeah, that's an example because I couldn't even communicate to you my answer because you couldn't help yourself but to
Ooh.
interrupt. Is it not?
Dove, sweetheart, I'm
I
asking you.
just said that I left my ex because he was a mental, emotional, physical, and financial burden. So I left.
Okay, sweetie. Okay.
You didn't even hear that.
I did hear it. I just thought you were going to get more concise. But here's what I want to say to you. Do you believe that we attract our equals? Ma'am, the reason that that man was so bad of a person is because it's all you qualify for.
You're so wrong. You don't know nothing about me. If I told you
Sweetie, do you know
about the
what women
situation
say
with my
down here when you
ex,
come up on the panel?
I don't care what women say. I don't
And
care
that's an
what any of
issue.
your
I care
supporters
what women
say.
and men say about me because I have to
I
evaluate how
don't.
true they are. And if I see that there's a lot of people saying the same thing about me, I must reevaluate my assessment of myself and start doing some work on me. The fact that you said
Prince,
you don't
I
care what they
don't.
think about you, that's why you're still as messed up as you are, sweetie.
No, I'm messed up because I took your advice one time and it led me, listen, I I don't care what your supporters have to say about me, but I do care just enough to tell them it's wrong. It's bad advice. I took it one time and it led me to the worst place of my life. If you even took a moment to know what happened to me, then
Well, we both know it's more than a moment with you to explain things. And that's why I have to interrupt you often.
not if you didn't interrupt me.
We have to
You like
interrupt
to
you to
let
tell you to
people
make it concise.
you like to let people talk if they say what
Hey,
you want to
everybody,
hear,
I
but
want you guys to
because
watch this. I have a clock
there you
right here.
go.
I want to show you guys something. Go ahead, Dove. You have the floor.
What's the question? It's not a complex conversation, friends.
Dove, didn't you just say if I would let you talk?
No, yeah, I did say if you wouldn't interrupt me, but I need to know what we're talking about before you start that clock. Go ahead, ask me the question. Ask me the question
You
and
said
start
you
the
had something to
clock.
say if I would just let you talk.
Okay,
See,
yeah.
this is what I'm
Okay.
talking about with you.
It's not that complex, Prince.
And then you say that so you can get the heat off of yourself. Apparently, it is
No, it's
complex
just
because you
not.
can't proceed on. Well, I'm giving you the floor, sweetheart. So you have the floor. Go ahead without interruption, please.
Okay, so long story short, I graduated with a doctorate very early. I started a career very early. I made money. It was very hard for me to find a Black man my age who was equally yoked to me. That goes to your point about attracting men who are our equal. I couldn't attract a Black man who was my equal because those Black men hardly exist. It's important for me to be with a Black man, so I chose a Black man who was not equally yoked to me, and he brought me to the lowest point of my life. That's the answer to your question.
Okay, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So let me ask you this: what percentage of Black men would you say are living middle class income and single? What percentage would you say?
I don't know that statistic. You're baiting me into a statistic thing. I don't know that statistic
I'm
off the
not
top of my
baiting you.
head.
I'm asking you a question.
I would say Maybe 45%.
You're about right. So out of the 45%, which is close to half, right? Out of the 45%, you want to convince us that you couldn't find a man on your level? Here is what the problem is. Here's what the problem is, Dove. The men who do make the same amount of money as you, they don't find you valuable. They go to other men, other women who are more valuable than you. A man who has resources, he seeks to do the best that he can, and the best that he can surpasses you. Have you ever considered that? Why would
I've considered it.
a man of means opt to deal with a woman who has psychological issues when he can go get a woman who doesn't have any children, a woman who is pleasant, a woman who is fit and feminine? They don't.
That's the thing, Prince. Excuse me, hold on one second. Okay, so that's the thing. You're wrong in that example because number one, I didn't have any children. I still don't have any children. I graduated with my doctorate at 25 years old. I'm very pleasant. And when I be crashing out on, you and acting crazy in general, that's who I came to survive the low-level
Okay,
black
I'm
man
not
that
gonna
I
argue
was
with you.
with.
You
See, there you go.
justify your crash outs.
There you go. You
You're right.
interrupt me
So
because you don't
hold
want to hear
on,
what I
somebody
gotta
else is.
say.
Stop it.
You get nervous. Like, you don't want
Sam.
to hear what I gotta
Sam
say.
I am. Or Sam I
This
ain't.
is all for entertainment.
I know you better respond to me, Sam.
People in these comments, this is all for
Didn't I tell
entertainment
you that
because
there's
if it was
somebody else up here?
meaningful,
You stop
if it were
interrupting
meaningful,
people.
you'd actually let me
I'm
talk.
not going to play
Look,
with you.
I
Stop
wouldn't
interrupting
interrupt
when I'm
you.
talking. Go ahead,
You're
Sam.
not, no.
You say no, we'll fix that right away.
All right, boot me. Boot me like you.
Shut the fuck up. Sam. Salutations. And greetings. Indeed. Tell me how your night is going. It's going great. I got a lot done today. Oh, you talking about far as losing your virginity? Oh my. You know I'm just playing. Stop it. The girl drives me crazy, Sam. So when the next person come up here, I'm already wound up. Jeez. So do you agree with what she said? Let me ask you this. Do you believe that we pretty much do get our equal? The majority of the time, yes. Yeah, I'm not even saying all of the time. The majority of the time, that's how this thing works. People who have personality issues and quirks and things like that, even if it's a man, it's going to reduce him from getting the caliber of woman that he would be able to get if he didn't have those personality quirks. Who doesn't know this? Do you believe that personality quirks and and low self-esteem and things like that increase a man's value? No, not to me. Not to anybody. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that women are attracted to men they can run over? You believe quality women are attracted to men that they can't run over? You put the quality part in there. No, majority, I would say no, but there is a sector of dysfunctional women that like to... Not quality men. They run over them. And they... Yeah. Well, that's not good. Who wants to be with somebody who run over them because I'm not attracted to you? Right? That's not a good thing. Because I have these personality quirks and things like that, now you like to go blow another guy before you come home to me and kiss me in the mouth. I thought this was a children's show. That's not good. So no, it's not. Yeah, most women are not. Watch, let's do this. Ladies in the comments, give me a thumbs up if you're attracted to men you can run over. You're not going to see it. So what happens if you marry a man that starts off as an alpha and then turns into somebody you can... That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. If you get that man thing in you, it doesn't just fall apart. That man thing got there by some way of some experiences. And you don't just wake up one day and forget that man thing. That I'll say the opposite can happen. A man can be a simp and come out of that. I've had some simp ways myself. You can come out of it, but you can't Yeah, once you become a man and you start laying your foot down and you become assertive, you don't just one day become a simp. You disagree?
Only because of my personal experience with it, but overall, no, because we speak about the majority on
Exactly.
here.
Exactly. So were you listening to the show? How long you been here?
I came in just before she started ranting and raving about her degrees.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that came out aggressive.
No, it came out true. Like that's a problem child from hell right there. But who do you think it is up to? Who do you think determines how attractive a woman is?
I would say the man that's interested in her, right?
Yes. We don't understand what's so difficult about that. We don't understand what's so difficult about that. Like, if you're into men and it is men who selects you, I agree. Slick James said that means dude was not a man. He was a simpleton. That's real. You can't one day be a masculine man. Something's wrong with that. That's a deep cliff dive right there. Like that man had to, fall deep in love and get crushed or something. I don't know how that would play out. Go ahead.
My example of that is actually my uncle. He was what you would call a very old school. He was only born in like maybe the 70s, but very old school. He cheated on his wife and had a baby. And now he's this timid turtle shell man, and his wife wears the pants and absolutely everything.
Was he an assertive man?
And our whole family makes fun. Huh?
Was he an assertive man? Like shot caller type? Don't take no SHIT? Yeah,
we're talking like Joe Jackson.
Yeah, but you fell into what I said as the only option, a man who got broken by a woman or something like that. It falls into, oh my gosh. Well, here goes some trauma for you. I know you didn't pay for it, but I want you to listen to this, Sam. Black Dove, do you want to apologize for being disrespectful up here?
No. I just logged back on because
Yes. No doubt about that. The forge of fire that makes a man cannot be easily reversed. It can't. Something had to happen to him. I don't know. Something had to happen to him. What do you disagree with about today's show? That women are out of control. They're completely out of control, even to the extent that they should not be in positions of leadership, even on a low level, because they can't save themselves. What we mean when we say they can't save themselves, you guys can't keep from letting men nut in you. That's crazy to us. We're not even talking about husbands and things. We're talking about the guys you cheat with. They get the nut in you. Do you agree that that's a form of out of control?
I do. That is a degree of out of control, yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how out of control is it?
An 11, obviously.
Yes. So many bad things can happen by way of that. I'm going to give her one more chance, then I'm going to block her. I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you apologize for being disrespectful up here?
Sure.
I want to ask you. Tell me this. I'm going to give you the floor. Why do me and you have these issues? Tell me.
I think you just get frustrated with me, and instead of listening to me, you cut me off.
So, did you hear the conversation I was just having with the lady over here?
No, I was too busy reconnecting.
Okay, so does it sound like me and her were getting into it? How come the other women that I talk to
No.
never have the discord that me and you have?
I don't know, she's not me, but I actually logged back on, because she said something about me ranting and raving about my degrees. I allow me, Prince,
Oh, not a no. You're
before
not
you
going to
kick
go
me
back.
off.
No, no. You're not going back and forth with a woman. That's not what this show is about. You can't. You
Why
come up here
why
to
not?
address the disagreements that you have with me. That's what you can do. You can help me get some further knowledge and wisdom and
Mm.
insight if you can give me some, or and make me stop thinking some of the things that you believe I say that is bull crap. You can enhance my information, help me to understand where I'm wrong at.
Oh, I just, like people got so much to say about me when you cut me off. Like say it when I'm on the live. That's all. That's just how I feel. Like
Hey,
say it when I'm
Sam,
on the
give me a
live.
second. I'll pull you back up. I need you to get this part. You say most of the things that I say are wrong. Yet when we bring you up here, you can't name anything that's concrete. Like if I tell you that you're a criminal, Dove, I'm going to be able to name something that substantiates that. I'm going to tell you that I looked it up and that you have a criminal history of shoplifting. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to do word salad. Now, I want to show you this. You said most of the things that I say is wrong. Ma'am, I'm asking you to give us one. Let's get rid of what I said about the girl, because we all know that we can prove men do not prefer women who have children. So let's get rid of that. Give me a thing that we can both prove wrong.
Well, I already started with your perspective on the baby mama.
I
I already
said let's
said
get rid of
that.
that. I said let's get rid of that. Since most of the things that I say is wrong, this show has been going on for 2 hours and 10 minutes. If most of the things that I've said wrong in 2 hours and 10 minutes is wrong, you should be able to name plenty of things. So let's ball up the thing that I said about the baby mom. Let's ball that up, throw it away. It doesn't exist. Give us something else.
Well, that was the bulk of your show, but you also said something about like the degrees, um, these fake degrees and like
What?
black women. You said
Are you
that black
crazy up
women.
here?
All right,
I haven't used
Prince.
the
I'm
word
not
fake
gonna.
the whole time I've been up here.
You said that black women only attract their equal, and the reason why I
I didn't say
attracted my
black women. I
loser.
said all of us.
Okay, okay.
I even went to the extent to saying a man with low self-esteem and personality issues is not going to be as valuable. Where do you get this stuff from? Oh my gosh.
You're just gonna hang up on me. I'm not your show pony. Like you're just gonna hang up on me and like try to trigger me, try to get me to crash out. I'm not doing
Okay,
that. Like
sweetie.
I'm
Well,
trying to answer your
please tell me
question.
what you want to say. Well, you can't be saying I said stuff that I didn't say. I must correct you when you do that, right? Haven't used the word fake the whole time
Sure.
I've been up here.
Sure, I invite you to correct me. But the whole hanging up on me thing, it's just a cop out, Prince. Like you're probably about to hang up on me right now for even saying that. It's a cop out. You hang up on me, you cut me off because you don't want the people to hear what I have to say. It's a whole gimmick to you.
You have the floor.
Like,
You have the floor.
okay, so another thing that you said was that I couldn't attract. Oh, no, no, no. You said that I attracted the man that I attracted because that was my equal. And I was trying to explain to you why it wasn't, and you hung up on me. Why do you hang
That
up
is
on me,
not why
Prince?
I
Why do
hung
you
up
do
on
that?
you. You were being
Why
disrespectful.
did
I
you hang
told
up
you
on
it.
me then?
I'm not gonna argue with you. Just continue going ahead. Go ahead.
That's my question
Your
about
question
me
is why I
attracting that
hung up
man
on you?
because
I still
no,
stand on that. We
Prince,
attract
no.
our equals.
I didn't attract my equal.
So
That's
how
what
were
I
you
was trying
dating
to.
him? How were you dating him?
I was dating him because I had this commitment to black men I was listening to the things that you preach, and it led me to a loser. That's
You
why I
didn't
was
even know
attracted to
me
him.
then. You didn't even know me then.
Okay, I was listening to
Oh my
things that you
gosh.
see. There you go, interrupting me again. You gonna hang up on me and call me disrespectful? I really want to talk to that woman who said I was ranting and raving about my degrees. Like, I really want to talk to her because as soon as somebody hears that you have a degree, you're ranting and raving about your degrees. How many times have I been on this show
You actually were.
before I've
You
spoken
went in,
out? Like,
I graduated at 25 and I couldn't find you actually did go on about it. Just did. But
and
hey,
you
listen,
guys
listen.
don't even
Hey,
know
hey,
what my
hey.
degree
I'm
is
asking you.
in.
You have the floor, sweetie. Tell us something I said that is wrong.
I did. I did, Prince. I already said it. That
Okay,
man
well, we're at
wasn't
a
my
stalemate
equal.
with that. So out of the many things that I said that's wrong, let's go.
Wait, what?
We're at a
I said
stalemate.
that
You're
that
going to
man.
keep on saying that that's not why, and I'm going to keep saying it is why. So let's just get rid of that. You said
So
most of
no.
the things that I said were wrong. You should be able to give us something.
Yeah, you were talking about black women and baby mamas. You were talking about black women attracting their equal. I brought up both of those things and you have no rebuttal. You're just gonna hang up on me and kick me off the show.
Do you know how many times
Like,
you've said you're just going to hang up on me? You're just going to hang up on me. You're just going to hang.
because that's what you
I've
do.
given you the floor several times,
But
and all
when
you
I
said is you're
said
going to
what
hang
I
up on
had
me.
to say, when I said what I had to say, you said we're at a stalemate. What? No, tell me why that man was my equal. Let's talk about it.
I've told you.
Well, can you tell me again? Can you explain it to
No,
me why, like I'm a kindergartner?
no, man. We've done this
Let's
a couple of
pretend I
times.
didn't understand.
I gave it to you like a kindergartner, and you couldn't get it. So we're going to have to go infant, which is being quiet and
Go
being mature.
infant.
No, going and talking to an infant, I would have to be mature and be quiet and just let that person babble. It's a shame that you can't get this. It's truly a shame. Okay,
Prince, you don't
hold
even
on.
know.
Do you think you got that man because your value was so high? Is that what you think?
Yeah, yeah.
So that means you were kind of an imbecile with to be a high value woman and pick a man so despondent.
I was listening to the type of advice that you give.
You didn't
So
know
if
me.
that
You
makes me
did
an
not know
imbecile,
me then. Where'd you get that advice from?
the type of advice, I got it
Where
from
did
other
you get
people
it
who
from?
give, I got it from other people who give similar advice.
So you
And it
can't
meant a
connect
lot.
me to them if you can't even tell us who you said it. Whose style is mine? Like if you can't give us any names, you can't. Oh my gosh. You said that you used my advice, and because of that, listen, you're a grown woman. You shouldn't even
I
use
said the
advice that
type
doesn't
of
sound
advice. I
right.
corrected
It doesn't
myself.
matter. You talk about listen, let me point this out to you. You guys really,
Sure.
you guys really trip us out being so highly intelligent, but yet your intelligence allowed you to fall for something that I said and therefore caused you to pick the worst of the worst. Where was your intelligence at when you heard the advice that was similar to mine? Why didn't your intelligence and your degree say, hold on, girl, what he just said don't make sense. Don't follow that advice. Where was your degree then?
First of all, my degree wasn't in black men. My degree was in something else.
What was it in?
My
I'm not
I'm not
going
going
to
to tell you
tell.
because I don't. All right, Prince. You don't want to have a meaningful conversation with me, and I've accepted that. This is all for entertainment. And I'm even naive in thinking that you do, which is why I keep coming up here, but you clearly don't. You have no idea who I am, and you tell your following it, or your supporters, let me correct myself. You tell your supporters all these things about who I am and all this and that, but like you don't know any of it because the second I start to talk about it, you go into this character. None of you know my story, and none of you know who I am or how I got to. None of you are equipped to actually make a decision because as soon as I start talking about it, you go into this character where you either interrupt me or you hang up on me and be like, I know we gonna do that. So yeah, it's all for entertainment. It's fine. If you really want to know, let me know and I'll tell you. But until then, you'll never get under my skin again. Never. It's for entertainment. WWE. I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
You guys see how she always begs to be able to speak without being interrupted? Then when she gets it, Lord Commander up in this situation. Hey. McAuliffe up in this situation calling it out. Look, ZF said I'm leaving again. Text me when she's done. Jeez. I'm going to let this thing play out so she can never come up here again and attempt to accuse us of sabotaging her opportunity to convey some viable information. You better not be doing a number 2. I know that much. Nobody gonna wait on you to do no number 2. It's astonishing to me that a person would say most of what you said in 2 hours is wrong. But then when you ask them to name even one thing, they can't.
Okay, I'm back.
You've been had the floor.
Well, I don't know. I said something and then I had to use the restroom. So, like, what do you have to say to that?
I'm not going to entertain that. I'm just going to give you the floor so you can get all that you get out. What we believe is oftentimes when you say you get interrupted and you get sabotaged from making a good point, it's not true. So you have the floor.
Oh my God. Again, you were wrong about the whole attracting people of your value thing. I was
I
much
said I
more
wasn't.
valuable
I
than.
said I wasn't. So let's move on from that. We're not going to get anywhere with that.
But that's the thing. Like, you ask me to say something and I say something and you say,
And I
let's move
told you,
on.
I've
No,
told you back then, let's move on from that. You can't prove me wrong and you're not going to even allow anybody to, so your information is bad. We do track our equal, except for
okay,
men
so
tend to
my
track
life
higher than that.
information is bad,
You just told
but
us
I
you
lived in
allowed
bad.
somebody else's information to cause you to pick a horrible man. Yes, your information is bad. Yes.
So are you not on here asking people to take your advice?
No,
Like,
I'm not.
okay.
No. What are you talking about?
Okay, so nobody take his advice. I want to talk about something. I have a feeling that you think that I'll be like, I don't know what you think, but I have a feeling that you'll think that what I have to say is probably you'll have no rebuttal against it, and so you just want to move on. I've said 2 things and you've wanted to move on. Look at you, leaning back in your chair. Prince. And the woman who I've become, you said a point earlier where you're like, where were your degrees? Where was your XYZ? Da 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 da. That's what I have now, and I'm the same exact woman who you call a demon. You're never satisfied. You're perpetually unhappy. You're in a state of habitual anger. Something happened to you where I don't know. I don't know if you were hurt. I don't know if you were let down. I really don't know. But you're not okay. And neither are any of your followers. I am a high value, top tier woman, and instead of listening, I don't even like that word value, but I am a top tier woman. And instead of listening to my story, you put on this show. No, Prince, I don't deal with men.
Welcome to Death Row.
No, I would never be a part of Death Row because I don't even deal with men of that caliber. This whole belt buckle jingle, like, that's weird to me. Like, I don't deal with men who think that that's normal or okay. Like, all the men who criticize me in your comments, I think it's hilarious because they could never even dream of being with me. I'm the type
Many
of
have
woman.
wondered why Satan was played by a woman in the Passion of the Christ.
Not gonna do that, Prince. Not gonna do it. I already made it clear that I don't like to talk about the
Many
God
have
stuff. I don't
wondered
think it's
why
something.
Satan was played by a woman in the Passion of the Christ.
Look, Mill said she ain't even saying nothing. Woo! I know it makes somebody ask how old this woman is. Boy, that's really disappointing. That's really disappointing. And she does it every time. Could you guys imagine being with her? Could you really imagine? This woman believes she's a top tier, high value woman. That's all that you will be receiving is the infamous belt buckle jingle. That's it. That's it. My people say it sounds like she about 25. I agree.
Get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me, Satan.
Resist the unclean spirit.
Prince of lies! Return to the depths of dark!
Resist the unclean spirit.
Get thee behind me, Satan. Prince of lies! Return to the depths of dark!
Ooh, I'm telling you.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Imagine sometimes really being locked in with a woman like this in a relationship. The reason that it won't happen is because a man would get a whiff of her and it'll be over. If he can't smash right away, he's not going back that way. There's no way in the world. And I'm not saying it because I'm glad. I'm saying it because this woman is mentally broke. Shout out to Lord Commander in this situation. Let's give her what she is claiming. She is a high value woman that as mere mortal men are blessed to get a glimpse of. Does her life reflect this? That woman is chronically single. Yeah, I can't even absorb that energy. Oh, she just gave us a thumbs down. Goofy, don't you know? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. All right, if nobody has any serious questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Right. These people took that high value. Even Kevin Samuels said that stop using that high value thing. He said it messed some people up because anybody started using it. You're high value, but you can't be tolerated. She doesn't even believe that people know her mindset, and we've had her up here several times. That's crazy. All right, people, we're about to get up out of here. Appreciate all of my people rocking with us, my show supporters. You know what? We're going to rock out at the place to play today. Dub, I have a question for you. Come up here. I have a really respectful question for you. This is a question that me and you, I just dropped a link. I want you to come up for just 1 second. I have one question for you that will sum this whole interaction with me and you up. There will be no disrespect or anything. We're not talking about your faith. We're talking about something else. Hey, I agree with that, Lord Commander. I agree with everything that you just said. I agree with everything you just said. I've met women like her before, so guarded that no one can get close. These women tend to have very low body counts, but the social awkwardness makes them no fun to be around. I agree 1,000%. I believe she has a low body count. I believe she does, but I believe it's because it's no fun to be around. And also, Lord Commander said, so guarded that no one can get close. I don't think it's guarded. I believe it's high levels of social awkwardness, personality issues that make it difficult for her to get past even herself. And if she can't get past herself and accept herself, it's going to be 3 times as hard for her to make other people receive her in a pleasant light. Dove. When doves cry.
Dig, if you will, the picture.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of my information would you say is wrong?
I'd say about like 91%, yeah.
So, Dove, why do you keep coming here then?
Oh, I like you. I mean, here's the thing.
People, this woman just said 91% of my information is bad, but she shows up to every show. See, here's the problem that me and you have. You can't even be honest. You can't even
I
be
was
honest.
being honest.
If you do
I
believe
said I
that, then
like you. You fine?
how can you like someone who's so incompetent?
Well, I've never
What
said you
does
were
that say about
incompetent.
you?
Prince, I never said that you were
I have to
incompetent.
be
I
incompetent
said
if
that
91% of my information is bad. That's incompetent.
no, that's not incompetent. I think that you're very competent. I've already said this before, but I'll repeat it. I think that you're very competent, you're very intelligent. I love the fact of how bold you are to get up here and say all the things that you have to say and, to have that courage. I don't even just love it, I admire it. I wish I could do the same. I don't think that you're wrong because you're too inept to know what's right. I think you do know what's right. I think that you have a show to produce. And so you're going to say what's going to get the most engagement. But just because I've been watching, and no, you're not. You know what's up, Prince. You know what's right. Just like when you hang up on me, I think you hang up on me because it's shocking. Like, you're not incompetent at all.
Incompetent, lacking the qualities needed for effective action, unable to function properly. You said 91% of my information is bad.
I don't
That's
think you're
incompetent.
lacking no, I don't think you lack the qualities to function properly. I think you choose not to function properly. I think you choose to say inflammatory and like controversial things, but I don't think you're incompetent. You're a very smart man, and let me tell you, Prince, I can spot one when I see one. And of all the men online, and there's not a shortage of you who talk about these things, I chose to follow and engage with you. You're not incompetent at all.
Lord
And you
Commander
being
up here with the super
inflammatory.
chat. I appreciate it, my brother. Think Brandy off of Thin Line with Martin.
Oh my, bringing Braised up here. That's what I want to see. Like, I know it's your show, forgive me. But can I just you like to give me the floor. Can I have the floor for just a second?
Not to talk about someone else.
I just I don't like them chat thugs. Like they got so much to say. Bring him up here, bringing Grace up here, bring Father Knows Best up
I'll
here,
bring
bring
both
him
of them
up,
up here.
bring her up.
I'll bring both of them up here right now if you cam up.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
You can't handle the truth.
That's a cop out because you know I'm not gonna cam up. No,
Exactly.
you're copping out because you know I'm not gonna cam up.
If you
So you're
won't
giving
cam
them
up, why should they come up?
because I'm up. I came up. I didn't
No, you
come up.
didn't. You're
I
taking
came
the
up. I didn't
coward's
cam
approach.
up. I never asked them to cam up. I said come up. They can come up and have their
And I
cameras off
said
too.
I'll
Bring them
bring
up.
both of them up if you cam up.
Bring them up. I'm up here. Bring them up.
Yours
They
is
got
a
so
cop
much to
out.
say.
Yours is a cop out.
Ooh. Bring her up. She don't gotta have her cam on. Bring her up. She got so much to say in that little chat. Bring her up.
See, here's the issue with you talking about that degree.
Bring
How
her
can you
up.
be so intelligent and you have a PhD, but you don't know how to ignore a chat? One form of competency is supposed to be the ability to focus.
I mean, sure, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a I'm a little bit like, yeah, when somebody be in the chat, like embrace
How
the
come you can't
grace.
just say, yeah, okay? You have to, that's what I say. You mess up when you try to stretch things. You're not simple. You can't leave things at a simple perspective.
Bring her up.
Cam up.
Bring her up. I know it's your show. I don't want you to get into your whole, this my show, but like, I'm just politely requesting that you bring her up. Bring her up. She got so much to say. Bring
Request
her up.
declined. Do you have anything to say
Okay.
about? Listen, let me say this to you. I need you to understand this, Dove. I really need you to understand this.
You got women that you like to defend. Why don't you ever
I was
defend
defending
me?
you at first, but then you turned psycho. I was
No,
I
no,
was
no.
telling
I was
people you had
psycho
a
when you
pleasant.
met me.
I was telling people that you had a feminine voice and you were probably, but then you went psycho. So you don't give me that. I call it like I see it. I call it how I think a lot of people would see it.
I think you should defend me more.
Well, the question that I have for you is this: 91% is a great deal. Dove, would you admit that you don't see a lot wrong with my information?
Uh, not a. I see. I don't see everything wrong, but it's definitely not like a lot. Like I see a small percentage of your information as like correct, but not everything is wrong with your information, Prince.
91%.
Yeah, 91% is wrong. Like you be tripping, Prince. I don't like you be saying stuff that's just like off the charts, and then I get up here and I try to talk to you about it, and you, like it doesn't seem like you actually want to talk about it. Yeah, you be wrong. A lot of what you have to say is just so far off the mark. You be trying to convince me that don't nobody want me. You be trying to convince me that I'm low value. You be trying to convince me all sorts of things, and you're just
Dub, as you are right
wrong.
now, without fixing it, you are a low value woman. A man would have to argue with you and he would likely put his hands on you, is what I'm telling you. That's not to say it can't be fixed, but you don't have anything wrong with you. You don't see anything wrong. You don't care what other people say. That is low value. Mines would be
Prince.
low value. If I like to put my hands on women, if I'm argumentative, I would be a low value man, Dub. And I'm still not even a high value man. I'm a quality man and I'm fine with that.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I'm a quality woman. I like that. We can scratch the high value woman stuff, but I like it. I'm a quality woman. Not every man has to argue with me. I argue with you because you put crazy stuff out there, but not every man does that. So, yeah, if I were with you, perhaps we would argue a lot. I don't even think we would argue a lot. I think that you as a man, I don't know, I can just sense it. Like, I think that if I were your woman, it this is all for your content, as Embrace the Grace likes to put it. But I think that if we were actually together, I don't think I think you'd let me, you just I don't know, like I could see myself just being a woman off talking to myself, and you would just leave and come back when I calm down. I don't know, there's something about you that tells me that you know how to handle a woman like me. You say you don't, but I think you do.
No, I don't like to argue.
Yeah, I
Listen,
don't
even
think you
here,
would argue with
you say a
me.
lot of this is for content. I don't like to argue even up here. I like for two people to swap information and allow logic to determine what side to lean on. I don't like arguing even up here, even if it creates content. Ask Sammy. I have Sammy where content where Sammy was out of pocket, but I never put it up because I don't want to make her look bad.
I'm saying your name, Embrace. Come up here. Come on, girl. Come on.
You
And
see
I
how
didn't mean to
do
disregard.
you see how you just went left?
Oh, Prince, I'm so sorry. I just, look, I'm sorry. Maybe you can help me. Maybe you can reel me in a little bit. But like she said something, I didn't say my name. I'm saying your name, Embrace the Grace. Come up here. Come on. Like that's the thing. These women ain't used to me because like I can't be like shamed or shaded into like submission. Like you said, say my name, I'm saying your name, Embrace the Grace. Come up here and talk to me. Talk to me. I like it. I like that shit. Come on, talk to me. she's not going to do it. But anyway, just back to what you were saying, and I apologize. I don't think you like to actually have conversations up here, because if you did, you'd know a lot more about me. But I do think that if we had a private friendship, I think that you could deal with someone like me. That's just my assessment of you. I don't think that I would, I don't know, I can just tell, like, I be crashing out, and I get kind of worked up sometimes, and you seem to always maneuver around it. Sometimes you get theatrical, but for the most part, you maneuver around it. I can just tell that if we had a private friendship, it wouldn't be nothing but a thing to you. So that's what I have to say about that.
Do you think that I would like to even have to have it nothing but a thing? Do you think that I would even like that?
I mean, perhaps not, but I can tell that, like, you would probably just take it as like, oh, Dove is tripping again. I don't know. Like, just I can just tell. Like I said, Prince, men, I'm used to men, particularly men who are like leader men. And when I get on my, when I crash out or rant or rage, I'm used to leader alpha type men, and it just like it doesn't even register on their radar. Like, I'm just used to it, and I can see it in you. Like, I could definitely see if you and I were friends and I
Do you
started
know
to
how?
crash
Do you
out.
know who? Do you know who's been up here ever since you've been talking?
Oh, yeah, that's why I came up here. Sam, right?
No, Embrace the Grace is up here. She's been up here the whole time you've been ranting.
I'm here.
This girl is crazy.
I didn't even address you tonight. I was talking to Stacy, and you took it upon yourself to address me. So I'm here now. What's good?
She just jumped off the Oh my gosh.
That's what I thought.
Oh my gosh. Hey, I gotta go.
Scary ass.
What
You know I got you, Stacy. I ain't gonna let you. I'm not gonna walk away. I got my own YouTube channel. I ain't scared to talk.
This girl been talking smack. Get her up here. Get her up here. Get her up here. And jumped. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Listen, people, we're about to get out of here. I appreciate all of my people. Got a call to make before it hits 10 o'clock. And we are out of here. I agree with you, my brother. You cannot make this up. Listen, I had to take a moment for pause. Embrace the Grace came up here with that thunder. Send her one packing and running. Let's go.